Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today, if you're watching this, you're here because you want a DPS guide about Retribution Paladin and you're eager to get the Asbringer and Nexus expansion. Okay, remember, as I do with all my guides, this will take into account the fact that you got at least at the 2 or the 4 set bonus from the Hellfire Citadel here. So, what this thing does, let's see. Avenging Wrath now has 3 charges, is the 2 set bonus, and the 4 set bonus is after using Avenging Wrath, your damage is increased by 5% every 1 second for 10 seconds. So that means that by the end you will do 50% more damage at the 10th second. Okay, so remember that we will plan our talents accordingly. So, going at level 15 doesn't matter, 30 doesn't matter. At 45, Selfless Healer or Sacred Shield. 60, Unbreakable Spirit or Clemency. Now, this is where the magic starts to happen. At level 75, Sanctified Wrath. At level 90, Execution and Sentence for single target, Light's Hammer for multi-target. And at level 100, Final Verdict. I should probably mention the fact that Empowered Shields are an amazing talent which isn't getting the credit it deserves, and I'll show you the reason why. What Empowered Shield talents does is actually the fact that as a PvE we're using the Judgment of Righteousness and the Judgment of Truth. So while in the Judgment of Righteousness increase our haste by 20% for 20 seconds, and while in Judgment of Truth increases our attack power by 15% for 20 seconds. What that means is the fact that by the time that you are in combat, you have to switch between those two. Let's see how this thing goes. So, boss, I'm going in, judgment on the target, and you see I got the buff. So the next thing I have to do is to change shield, cast judgment of judgment. So, and the point is that you have to bake into your rotation the fact that you have to change your seals. The only drawback in this one is the fact that seals trigger the global cooldown. So, in order to take full advantage out of it, you must actually find or create yourself, if you're familiar with it, a macro of baking these two together. I mean, let's say that you start with the Seal of Truth, go into Seal of Truth, Judgment, then change back to the Shield of Righteousness, Judgment, then change back to the another shield, and so on and so on. But, and this actually, it's pretty close with the Final Verdict, I think. I haven't done any maths around it, but if this thing works exactly as you like, imagine the fact that by the end of the set bonus, the 4 set bonus, you got at least 15% more damage, the magic starts happening there. But in many occasions you will rock with Final Verdict. So let's say that we are in a single target position. Single target with multi-target is the fact that the difference is in multi-target you get, instead of Execution Sentence, Light's Hammer, and instead of using Final Verdict, you're using Divine Storm, sorry, and you're in the Seal of Righteousness, if you like. So, how this thing goes? We are in our pull timer, and I forgot to put the slash here. Okay, we're on our pull timer. Nothing to prepare here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We're starting our judgments. In single target occasion, execution or sentence, and we spam Final Verdict all the time. The only way you will do Divine Storm, and I mean the only way, is when you get this proc that I got here. This thing increases the damage of your next Divine Storm by 50%, and the buff from Final Verdict increases your next Divine Storm damage by 100%, and it's reduced by 50%, I think, yeah, by 50%. This is the only reason in a single target environment when you're going to use Divine Storm. Okay, so remember that our Avenging Wrath has 3 charges, so you can go a little bit ham there. You can actually go using it more often than the 2 minutes cooldown that there is now. So let's say that we are in a bursty phase, okay? And the bursty phase, you will probably want to use a trinket, drink, if possible. You may be under the effect of a bloodlust. So, go. As you probably see, my Hammer of Wrath is on a 3-second cooldown, and the fact is that I am using Hammer of Wrath repeatedly. I try to fill my Holy Power with any other filler spells like Judgment or a Crusader Strike or even the Exorcism. But the fact is that during these phases you want to cast as much Hammer of Wrath as possible, because this is your big finishing move. The thing hits like a truck. I accidentally pressed Divine Storm here, my bad. And this is how this thing rocks. Every time you see that the target is, and you can afford going a little bit ham, pop your Avenging Wrath and start kicking things in the ass. This is the only difficult thing about this penguin. Let's say if you can say it's difficult. I don't think it's difficult. This is a pretty easy spec to play. So, this is for this video. A quick recap. In a single target environment, executioner stands on the target when soft cooldown. Final verdict at all times. The only reason you need to cast Divine Storm is when you get the proc. And this is the only time you're going to use it. And while you're under the effects of Avenging Wrath, try to fit in as much of the Hammer of Wrath as possible. Again, I tell you, this is your big hitter. The biggest hitting thing you got in your arsenal as a Retribution Paladin. And as for, let's say, a bit of support role, although you may not do it, but in the environment of raiding in Warlords of Draenor, it actually needed to be done. I have many times that I need to either do a lane of hands on a tank or Hand of Sacrifices. Remember, it will be much more appreciative if you take 10, let's say the maximum 10 seconds, okay, which isn't 10 seconds, so obviously it's around 2 to 3, maybe 5 seconds, to click on another target and throw, I don't know, a Hand of Sacrifice or even lay on hands to prevent death on demand, rather than staying neutral and don't do nothing. So, this is for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.